Ayo, Ayo, Wheat, how y'all doing? This is your girl Lati, Channeled Messenger, coming back. Thank you so much for visiting me on the wheat field. You know, coming around here, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? So, my energy is really messed up right now, y'all. It's like, we bring messages to the field because you never know what a person is going through. You just really never know. And I know what I've been through in my life, and I know my own experiences, and I know where when the Spirit has spoken to me and given, you know, guidance and carried and brought me through some really dark places. One of those places was being, you know, yeah, Spirit says it's time to heal. That's definitely the energy, right? Been definitely in a dark place. Yeah, playing around. It's not a game. It's not. Definitely been in a place where I was on that end of the stick, you know, where Twitch was, where it is, you know. And I have, and down in my archives, if y'all go through my stuff, you'll hear my testimony about when I was in that place and the multiple attempts. I want to say it's at least five. That last one I went and visited a place, and but I understand what that's like to be in a life where everybody would think that is great and they would want to have that, but secretly be suffering and not having anybody to talk to, not having anybody that you feel would understand. Not to say what this man was going through, because it had to be some heavy stuff in his, you know, from a mental health standpoint, feeling like, you know, what is it that I can do? You know, how can I escape? How can I heal? Yeah, wearing a disguise. And we do. And oftentimes, we don't reveal it. We don't reveal it. And there oftentimes isn't anybody that we can trust to even really talk to. And sometimes it gets so dark and so deep that you don't even feel like you can go to God with it. I know I didn't. I know for a lot of stuff, some stuff I blamed myself for. Like, I got myself in this situation and it just is what it is. Or it's never going to be any better than this. It's not going to get any better. Or I'm just tired of it, you know. And when I got there, yeah, I was afraid. The fear was heavy. Like, you know. And I don't know if it was because of my stature. You know, like, I've always been tall. You know, like, I'm almost 6 feet. I'm like 5'10". Almost 5'10". Not quite 5'10". But independent, like, always very off to myself. From as long as I can remember, it was that way. Yeah, just carried that grown-up type of energy. Yeah, that was a lie. Need to get those. But for some reason, guys, it's like when you have, I can't even get this card off the floor. We have to see what this is because it just wanted to see there. Yeah, care was on the floor and it was just stuck. Like it was there, like stuck to the floor. And it felt like for that nobody cared. Like I never felt that energy that somebody really cared. Heal is on the table. Father says, leave that there. Trust is also back out. Father said, leave that there because you don't trust anybody to even talk to and tell them the real of what's going on with you. Yeah, you don't feel like anybody's going to understand that energy, like what it is that's happening. And I don't know if it's another type of energy that really, like, where does it, I know for me where a lot of it, where it came from. And I'm trying not to be so deep and so personal, but at the same time, get it out for anybody else who may need these testimonies. That's why I do this, from testimony and married to role and testimony, right? Holy Father, the whole infinite intelligence, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for using me as your willing vessel. Surrender to bring these messages onto your we feel. Let the message be first edifying onto self so that I may edify you, edify your we so that they may be edified. Let us come together over this principle, over this message so that we may edify you. Thank you so much. Allow your will to be done in this space right now. All of you, Father, all of you, and none of me, none of me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. If we be in alignment, please seal this space with your ashe, please. Or give me further words that I should pray. Thank you. Thank you, Father. Sorry, guys, just need to pray real fast and get that out. Seal this space, protect the message that I'm bringing, and make sure that I say it in a way that it helps the person that's designed to hear it. As I said, if you go back through my archives, you'll hear my story. Yeah, family issues. Family. Or maybe somebody in my family needs to hear it. They could. But I definitely was, some wisdom coming out of this message. Hopefully it will free somebody, lead to freedom for somebody that needs to be freed from their personal despair. And it's difficult when, people look at you like you have this or you have that, or you're strong. Like they say, check on your strong friends. Because that was it, always being strong, always being able to take care of myself, always, but even as a youngster, it was just something about my disposition where people didn't feel the need to check on me. They just didn't. It was like, she's good. But oftentimes I was by myself and I was lonely. I was disconnected. I was different and I was peculiar, especially being a channeled messenger. Like, you receive energies that you don't understand. You receive feelings and inklings that you don't understand. There's not a lot of people that you can talk to about it. You don't connect with other people in the way that you see most people connecting. Like, the things that other people look at or can joke around about, you don't understand why it's funny. Like, I'm still like that to this day. I can read all kinds of stuff on Facebook and be like, I don't even understand what they're talking about. Like, am I that disconnected, or I just don't get it? And most of the time, I just don't get it. It's like, you could even explain it to me and I still don't get it. Like, I don't even understand why it's funny. Like, why is that a joke? And it makes you feel very odd. You can feel very, very odd. You can feel set aside and isolated. You can feel isolated and alone in a group, a crowd of people. You can be literally standing in the middle of a sea of people and feel all by yourself. Don't feel connected to anything or anybody. And have an awareness that something is off, something's missing, something's different, something's weird. Why do I see life this way? Yeah. So I can remember my first attempt being at 16. First 2 attempts at 16. Tried 2 days in a row. Didn't work, obviously. Next time, the method of choice just happened to not be available to me, when it always was. Like, so the day that I decided was going to be the D-Day, it wasn't there. Somebody had taken it with them on a whim. So that didn't work out. And then the next couple times was kind of similar until the last time, and I was quasi-successful. Gone, but not quite gone. That could make sense to anybody. But I do remember what being in that space feels like, and I've spoke about it. Yeah. Victory over death. No. Being sent back. Returned. For a reason. You will serve, is what I heard. You will serve. And being in that space, when I tell you, so odd because I would never want to be in that space ever again. But there's still a lot about being here that I particularly, you know, because I have an awareness and an understanding that most people don't. And to know that this isn't it, this isn't the only manifestation, this isn't the end, but it's also not in my ability to go outside of the design. So what do you do when there's nobody to talk to? What do you do even when you tell people that you're struggling and they still look at you and say, oh, it's okay, you'll be all right? Because that's what I used to get. You try to connect with people that say that they're going to be there for you, and you try to talk to them and let them know that you're struggling, that you're depressed and you're going through some things, especially in our community. I mean, they expect you to be strong. Like you can handle a strong black woman. It's one of the things that hurt us because there's so many people that suffer in silence and don't get any help. And it's almost like you have to have a particular aesthetic to be taken seriously, for your mental health to be taken seriously. Not to say who did what and whatever the case may be, because I have no idea what happened in that SUV with Meg, Kelsey, and Tori. Who knows? We don't know. The driver ain't speaking up, and the driver was in the car. What happened? Nobody knows. But I do know this, that people will look at Megan's stature as a tall, thick woman, black woman, and not consider that she needs help. Not consider that she is, a sensitive person or a woman, period, that could be harmed. It's something in that. Even for this man, Twitch, like, why is it that I don't know what his situation was. Did he talk to anybody? Was there anybody in his family that had any inkling or anything? Because oftentimes when you're serious, they don't know. You could go about your everyday life and nobody knows. Because nobody knew for me until after. I have one friend who happens to be gifted who called. And when I told her that's what had happened, then she knew. But other than that, yeah, we definitely have a loving connection, But I would talk to two people who were supposedly very close. They don't call to check. Still don't. Still. It's very, very, very few people that actually ring my phone to check and see if I'm okay. Most people just assume that I am. Why? Because I look like I am? Maybe it's sometime we need to rest on that. I know for me, I wanted to go rest. Oh, I was so tired from the trauma to just the plane itself, seeing people who don't care, never felt the love, connection. It's just not there. Always felt disconnected. So where do you go? Even if you are gifted, how you gonna go to tell a therapist? Yeah, that's a deal breaker. How you gonna go tell a therapist that you speak with spirits, or sometimes you don't have control over your own vessel, or you see the world and things in it that other people don't see? I'd have been locked away as a kid. In my 20s, I definitely was going through it, and there isn't a whole lot of people, like I said, to talk to. You cannot, it's some things that you just can't, you don't even have the ability to admit to self, let alone talk to other people about it. So where is it can you go? What do you do when you are in that space? When you feel like nobody can understand and you would much rather just go do this. Rest. Because that's what I wanted to do. I was tired. I don't want to play the game anymore. And some days I still feel like that. Most days I do. I know I can't do it by my own hand. And I know my days are numbered by the Father. And I know I have a work to do while I'm here. Like, there's an infinite plan for all of us. I believe that. And I know that I have to serve. I know I do. I choose to. I choose to do the work. And I have to do the work until it's done. But in the meantime, in between time, there's not a lot of people, even still to this day, there's not a lot of people I can go sit on their couch and tell them the things that I experienced in my personal life, even just being a channeled messenger. Sitting and resting with the Spirit, and you have the Spirit, you know, to take you and discern and show you things, or you have to learn how to control your channel. You have to learn what energies are coming towards you. You have to learn who's telling you what, or what's telling you what, or why you're saying what you're saying, or what you're feeling. How to channel that energy, how to get it out, how to do it appropriately in a way where you don't freak out other people. Where are the psychic therapists? If they are any, I don't know about them. I haven't, you know. But it's something to be said. Yeah, co-creation is here. It's something to be said about being in that space. Time for a nap is here. And people who want to go and rest. Check on your friends, especially the ones who seem like they have it all together. 9 times out of 10, it's a mask. They've learned to mask their feelings. They've learned to hide the sadness. They've learned how to participate in life in such a way where nobody knows the depths of their despair. You don't want me to pull it? Do you want this card? Yes? Not yet? Okay. Because I can't even turn it over. Spirit says, no, not yet. We're not gonna look at it yet. Is it another card in here? Yeah. One of the things that made me, is it in here? It's in here. In here. One of the things that made me have to, this one. Okay. Your dreams need a practical plan. Is that it? Yeah? It's in a challenge. Can you discern? People believe wrong. Creation is whole. Now. You can't escape creation. Father is saying, win-win forecast, the end of a tough cycle approaches. The answers that you need are coming, and work through your fears. The answers that you need are coming. So maybe there's more that I need to discover, but I definitely wanted to come in and just share very close to you. No, what was it? Conclusions are within reach. So, Spirit is saying there's definitely something more that I need to discover because I wanted to rest, you know, and I wanted to heal, and I wanted to put to death family issues that I was enduring, things that I had gone through, feeling like I had made, you know, maybe my life, my beingness was a mistake. Like I wasn't supposed to even be here. Like it didn't matter whether I was here or not. Um, Feeling value. Like who's gonna miss me? Nobody even checks. Nobody even knows me for real. Like nobody knows me. So, what is the purpose? Who's gonna care? That was my demeanor. That was my attitude. And it wasn't until I was, had an encounter and came back with a different eyesight. The first thing for me getting through, The first thing for me getting through uh, was to count flowers. If you go through my archives and you'll see, um, it was to count flowers. And I decided that if I could get up every day and find a new flower, then how long would I be here? Like my purpose every day is just to get up and find another flower. Because to me, flowers are so diverse. And not only, just the diversity period is highly immense. And it made me see the diversity of creation, the diversity of life. I could see God itself in acceptance, in love, in peace, and collaboration, and acceptance. I don't know if I said acceptance already, but that's what I felt. Like you could see acceptance in a field of wildflowers. Like every type of flower there is. Like no other flower, I believe, feels odd. Like even down from like Venus flytraps to daisies, to sunflowers, to calla lilies, to roses and daffodils and tulips. Like I could just go on. And to name the flowers became a mission. And then it was like, again, if I could name flowers and find a new flower every day, I would be here every day. So every day my mission became to just get up and to get out of the bed. It was like, okay, we're going to go count another flower. We're going to find a different flower today. And then I would sit there on my walks to go find a different flower and look at the bees that pollinated. And I could see how life carries out and how creation behaves. Not just like the interactions with humans, because those interactions always sucked quite personally. Like they just did. I mean, but flowers are beautiful. And wildflowers in a field, they don't fight each other. Like they don't be like envious and jealous and bitter and be like, "Oh, you're a daisy and I'm a sunflower." What? Like they don't do that. They can grow side by side and not have an issue. It's nothing but love. You see, you walk past it and it's just beautiful. It's breathtaking. You stop and notice it and you give it appreciation and value. And that just became my thing. Until it went from flowers to insects to everything else. I started seeing the abundance of life just like blades of grass. Leaves on the bushes, leaves on the trees. Like every blade of grass, every leaf, I felt like, had the abundance tied to it. And I could see the birds and then the squirrels and how they just ran around carefree in creation. Some are lone species where they kind of journey on their own and they do their own thing through life, kind of like that solitude. And some in packs, family groups, whether it's small or big. It's just the diversity of life and creation. Then I began to have an appreciation for the other side because I know what that cold feels like, that separation. And to feel anything became a blessing. I mean, just to feel. Because I sat in a space where I didn't feel nothing. No heat, no warmth, no flow, no breath, nothing. And it was so far. I thought I felt disconnected before. Ooh, ooh. And you talking about being in a space with, I could feel, not feel, but I could sense the other souls that were there. And the Father felt so far away. So, coming back into a conscious awareness, the ability to feel anything was just important. Like, just to feel it. Whether it was the despair, because the despair wasn't gone, it was still there. The despair was very much still present, still right in the middle of everything. And it became a blessing just to feel it. But I wanted to find rest and peace in creation here, like consciously aware of it, where I could still feel the Father, I could still see the source, and I could see the source everything through everything it made, through its infinite intelligence. And who you talking about an honor for the breath of life? Oh, baby. And even having shared my story with loved ones, people who are supposed to be super close, I'm still the strong friend that they just feel like it's going to be okay. It's not many people that know about the day-to-day struggle. Just don't. But I manage it now through meditation, through seeing the source in every bit of creation, from the lava and volcanoes and hurricanes and tornadoes and earthquakes and everything. I see how the source is operating in all things because it created all things, good and evil. Everything. I know that we are whole and we are complete. I do know that. But I do know that it's levels to this. And you can be in a place where you feel very disconnected. You feel, or you can't feel anything. Almost like you're in a place where there's no air. You can't breathe. You don't feel. You're disconnected and isolated and lonely in a crowd full of people. In the middle of everything that you ever dreamed of. Everything that you ever dreamed of. But how is your spirituality? How is your heart space? Have you healed? Have you released the negativity? Have you released the negativity? Are you able to put a dead to that? A lot of people can't. A lot of people struggle to bring practicality, to trust that they can heal from these family wounds. It's somebody who knows the wisdom. They know. And it doesn't allow you to rest when you know. Because maybe you're one of these people that are called to heal family wounds, to restore trust. Or maybe you can't trust yourself or trust anybody in your family. Like I said, I didn't. I couldn't. Who? When everybody tells you, oh, you'll be all right. It's okay. Get on up, girl. You good. You fine. You can't stop. You have to be strong. While you're secretly breaking down and nobody can see it. Because it's shameful. It's shameful to not live up to the expectation of being strong. It's shameful to feel like you're the opposite of what everybody believes that you are. Living through imposter syndrome. Nobody knowing what the real deal is. Nobody knows. No. Now, I'm open. Who's going to judge me except for the Most High? And I've been in a place to, I'd rather tell you. Because I already told the Most High, because it already knows. I'm lonely. Not lonely in a sense that in this place, but I feel the need to return home. I do. I know that my light doesn't come from here. I know that this is temporary. I know that my soul family is somewhere else. It's a feeling to feel like you were born in the wrong space and nobody that you're around understands. And you can't talk to anybody because who would believe you? Who would believe me? They're going to put me away. They're going to take me away. And then you're trapped in self with a mask. So, I know that there are plenty of us out there. And I know that it's tough. I mean, you talking about a struggle that was only conquered. I mean, we still have to, we think about it. We don't think about going the other way. We don't. Because we know that that's not the answer. It's not. There is no escape. Like Father said, we are held in creation all the time. And that is the wrong way of thinking. It's not right. We have a counselor. We have a comforter in the Most High. And religion didn't do it for me. Just didn't. I needed something deeper, something that I could really connect to. I don't know what that is for you. I'm just saying for me, it was not enough. It wasn't. It wasn't until I heard that voice and I could look up. You will serve. We are here to do a work that we don't remember. And the remembering process can be hell. especially when you are covered up with layers and layers of conformity and expectations from other people. Even if you feel isolated and set aside and peculiar and like you fly between two worlds, nobody is on, you are not on anybody else's frequency. It can be difficult, especially if you have a knowingness. You can see through the veil. You can see past other people's masks. You can feel the true disconnectedness that is not really real. It's not deep. Or it just doesn't touch you in your deep space. It just doesn't. There's something keeping you from being able to feel it, to realize it. I will never say don't seek help. It was plenty of days I called that hotline. But I know that the help is limited. And mental health resources in this country suck ass. They do. And if you have any type of awareness or any type of gift, it could really suck ass. And you really don't have a whole lot of places to turn to or a whole lot of spaces you can go for assistance, for support, for connectivity. I ended up, again, the best thing I could have did was be authentic and be real. To let my vulnerability out, to break, to allow myself to break. I was breaking anyway. The tower is falling down. Everything is crumbling to dust. It's going, and it's happening on the inside. And if nobody can see it, well, there was stuff on the outside too. I mean, like we've been plagued with stuff, you know, our entire existence. But the Father says to allow yourself to be vulnerable and to release the shame, even with the source of your understanding, the God of you, the God of yourself. However you connect to the source, you can go there and lay it all out. When I say lay it out, I mean let yourself go to the flow, to the socks, let it fall, let it crumble, and know that that source material will be the building blocks of your rebuilding. It will. You're never too far or too broken where the source can't put you back together again. When I say being swept up in a dustpan, like being broken down to the dust, to the elements, and being swept up and reconstituted and put back on the potter's wheel and remade, that type of transformation and transmutation of that energy can happen when you are in the source, that inner space, deep meditation, allowing yourself to break, feeling the shame, the vulnerability, releasing it. Release it. You may not have people ever really come to support you in the way that you need it. It just may not be there like that. Or in your space because you haven't found your soul family yet. I don't know if I'm talking to me on this or not. But I know that man's situation hit me. I talked to somebody else about it on Facebook because it hit her. She lost a friend in a similar fashion. Made me think about myself, how, I mean, nobody knew. I didn't turn my, look, just got up and went and did what I was going to do, and that was it. Didn't say shit to nobody. Because that's where it's at when you're at that point. again, for any, yeah, when that energy is like that, when, or you out of energy, or you don't believe because you are wearing masks, you don't believe that you can communicate, that nobody's going to provide you with any energy to save yourself. And at the same time, you're wearing a disguise. It's just, you don't believe that it's real. I mean, because it's generally, I can't say generally. I can only speak for self. I can only speak for self. Never, ever, ever, ever. I literally just told somebody this that was close to me. What was it, last week, maybe? That I've gotten accustomed to it. Just living in my own space because energy just keeps coming back up. And maybe it is other energies out here that influence that I hear magnify that type of sentiment, that emotion. And it pulls you and it drags you like a weight. I felt like I just had weights and shackles on me and I could not break free. Feeling bound. And the only thing that I wanted to do was rest. Go somewhere where I felt loved and included and engulfed. I didn't want to just I wanted to be included. I was tired of being isolated. I was tired of feeling alone. Again, alone in a room full of people. Check on your people. Check on your friends. Check on your loved ones. It's often the ones that look like they got it all together that are hurting and suffering in silence. I really don't have anything else, guys. It's not, is there anything else you'd like to pull? This? Thank you, Father. Thank you. I do enjoy life. I enjoy creation. I enjoy seeing the Most High in every way possible. This one. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. That's what I was feeling. I wanted to disconnect from the world. I did. But Father says this, to love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more attractive. But I don't feel this is not about attractiveness. It's just about loving yourself. And some people, again, religious factors, for me, they were not a part of it. They weren't. Yeah. This unrequited love, meaning that I wasn't loving myself or didn't feel worthy of love, like nobody loved me, so what was the point? This, the new love I found in the Most High. I did. I found a way to love myself through loving the source, through loving God, like being able to see God in creation led me and gave me the ability to see God in myself. And if I love God and I love creation, then I have to love me. I'm worthy. And to find the value in myself and the value in living and continuing life in this capacity, in this awareness, in this plane, to just experience it itself became a blessing. Again, to experience it became the blessing. Just the experience. not like to be reckless, but again, if you in a space where you don't even feel the breath of life, you don't feel no heat, no sensation, no emotion, no nothing. Just like, Father said, love yourself first. Take care of you. Putting out so much energy to take care of other people. Other people. Everything was always for other people. Yeah. Forgiving and learning. And also this, a heart-to-heart conversation. Deception. Letting go of control issues. And retreat is here again. It's in a challenge. Religious factors is also a challenge. Maybe challenging your ability to really have a true relationship with you or with the source. Finding that true relationship. That's why I always talk about being on that Eve walk, the Adam and Eve walk, where there is no separation between you and the God of you, the you and the source of yourself. And the source of yourself is always the Most High that made you by the principal thing, which is wisdom, is intelligence, and you are filled with the breath of life. That was what saved me. It's the reason why I'm still here. Is there anything else? No. Unrequited love. Somebody doesn't feel the love for self. Somebody doesn't feel the love of the source, of the Father, the Most High, because we often have a degree of separation between us and the source of self. Getting in touch with the God of creation, and however you connect. For me, my first connection back to the source was counting flowers, seeing the beauty in creation, moving to bees and beetles, and then the blades of grass and leaves on the trees. And before I knew it, I could see me. I could see God. I could see me. I could see the beauty and the wonderment of just experiencing creation itself. Just the ability to experience it. Which is why I give thanks for every emotion, whether that emotion is grief, anxiety, depression. The ability to feel them, beloved, is a warning system that something is off. Something needs to be addressed. An energy needs to be transmuted. It needs to be changed. It needs to be adjusted to balance that out, to come back to balance. To balance your experiences with your spirituality, with the spirit of you, the spirit of self, the spirit of creation itself. Doesn't matter how you term it, what name you put on it. But get so deep and in touch with you and what's going on with you that you have it revealed onto you how to persevere, how to break through these walls, how to break those curses. Where is the help? Where is the connectivity? Where is it? And how do I get to it? The answers are there. The connections are there. I pray for you. I pray for you. I pray for you just like I pray for me. That's why I can say I love you just like I love me. Because I love the source. because I know that everything that we need is here. It is. Including the comfort, including the connections. They may not be here, but it will come. I will find them. They will find me. It's going to happen. It is happening. It is happening. I don't know any spiritual counselors or therapists. And I still have that feeling to this day. Like, I go lay on somebody's couch and lay all of this on them. The last one I talked to, she took off 3 weeks to go so she can go have some sessions. So, you tell me what to do with that. But every day now is an adventure. I never know what it's going to get. Leaning into the uncertainty of life. Again, the intelligence has certainty and uncertainty baked in. Every new day is another opportunity for me to break through, to bust down some walls, to overcome something that is coming against me. That the reasons why I felt the way that I felt. And to be able to come through that and find a way of managing, not only managing life, but enjoying life and feeling joyful and getting the joy out of it. That's a whole nother walk. And it is not one that everybody is going to be able to understand. Even when you do your very best to explain it to them. A lot of folks still just not going to get it. Where do we go? I don't know. The only place I know for sure that I can go to is the source. I know that it's here. I know it. And I know that it speaks. Speaks to me. Will speak to you too. Give you what you need to hear, to feel, to continue on. If you are able to lay everything at the feet of the Father. Literally closing my eyes and imagining the Father on its throne up high and laying at the feet and laying it all out. Everything. Even if that meant crying like that, seriously slide down the wall, broke me down to my socks, ugly cry. Yeah, snot it out. And keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Get it all out, get it all out. And watch how things will change. Little by little, bit by bit, it will change. You will change. But get some help. There are hotlines. And the crisis hotline is one. I mean, I used to have it in my phone on speed dial. Crisis hotline is there. Hospitals, where you can go take a vacation, a couple, 2-3 days. Yeah, maybe longer if you need that. There's no shame in getting help. Because even when other people are not there to help you, you have the power to help self. You do. This is still there, breath power, needing to recharge yourself. Maybe you need to unplug from a lot of things. The world today is depressing. People comparing their lives to other people's lives, and 90% of that shit is not even fucking real. Moving your thoughts to a small cottage That means to me taking your thoughts inside the kingdom. Small cottage. Move them in here. Ruminating thoughts cause stress and pain in the body. Stress, starting from what you're thinking. As a man thinks, as a woman thinks, as you think. Being consciously aware of that. Massage your scalp. Maybe you need to go get a rub down. Just saying. Maybe somebody feel like their head is about to explode. Stress and anxiety. I felt that earlier today. I know this might seem random, but I definitely felt like we needed to come on here and just chat. Not only share, again, my experience, to let somebody know that they are not alone. And if it helps any person, one person, then I did what I was supposed to do. I did what I was supposed to do. Because I know that feeling of wanting to rest. I just want to rest. Tired. I want to rest. But to recharge through meditation, breathing, self-care, deep healing and nourishment of self, the ability to be vulnerable, the ability to release your shame. You don't have to be hard in every situation, my brother. You don't. That lie that they tell us, that you have to be strong, that you can't show your heart, that you can't be vulnerable, that big boys don't cry, all of that bullshit. No. You have a heart, you have emotions, you get hurt. You feel isolated and set aside and pushed aside and emasculated and disrespected and bound and lacking the ability to reach your dreams or your goals or to do whatever it is that's in your heart to do. Having the feeling of it being locked up and pushed away and unattainable, like the world is against you and you are carrying it on your back and have no idea how you're supposed to get through it or make it through it or what's going to happen from day to day, minute to minute. Sisters who feel like, again, the world is on your back. You gotta be strong. You cannot break. You cannot stop. You cannot show any weakness. You cannot show any vulnerability or shame. Wanting to have support but don't know how to get it. You look strong so nobody feels like you need to have any help. And even when you tell them you need help, they don't even believe you. The energy is thick. Pray, meditate, recharge. Start from raising our vibrations to at least get to sympathy and empathy. To be able to communicate with each other for the sake of understanding. And then give each other some compassion. Receiving each other with compassion. That is the pathway to knowledge. That is the pathway to wisdom. And that is the pathway to peace. And to the next now on the Tears and Wheat Tarot show where you show enough, never know what you're going to get. Know this. Know that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you just like I love me. And I love me because I love the source that made me, that made thee, that called you specifically, intentionally, by its mind, its thoughts. The source thought of you. You're here for a purpose, for a reason. You are filled with the breath of life. You are connected to all of creation. You are not alone. You are not isolated. But you are connected and you are held within the whole. And you can never go anywhere. You are still in the whole. But in my Father's house there are many mansions. This is just one of them. To the next now, y'all. Ashe.